Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
And man, we the brothers come back at y'all with Lord's will and an edifying lesson. As always, man, first and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash.
Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, our teachers. Shalom to you, brothers, teaching and pushing this truth across the four winds of this earth. And as always, man, peace, blessings, and many salutations to you, sincere Akim, Wa'akwath, all right, who are ultimately given all diligence to make your calling and election sure in these last days.
Shalom to all you Akim, you Akwath, you brothers and you few sisters that subscribe to this doctrine that was given through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, to our beloved elder apostles on down to the elder bishops, elders, and Akim, pushing this gospel of truth and its sincerity today. A peace, blessings, and salutations be unto you and your households. Amen. But this lesson, is coming you're basically obviously through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, but I had basically I was meditating on this title yesterday. It was called America is at its end, right? And you see it, man. For those that have the eyes to see and ears to hear, and you that America is at its end, by the signs that are ultimately coming abroad, and by what the prophets are saying, man, and bringing out, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, man. Hey, but just to get into it, a little bit more, man, we're just gonna grab some precepts, man, because again, America is at its end, and there's some telltale signs, that let you know that America is at its end, right? So let's go ahead and grab that, Isaiah 13.
There's a book of Isaiah, chapter 13, and verse 1.
Yeah.
The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see.
Right, and we know Babylon is America, right? So this is he's going into ancient Babylon, right? But in ancient Babylon is done away with, right? And we know that these scriptures are fountains of living water, so they apply, just as they did back then today, right? So this is talking about or speaking on, America, which is Babylon the Great, and ultimately the new, so to speak, man, the new Babylon, right? This is where we living in Babylon the Great, the virgin daughter of Babylon, which is America today, right? So this can be applied today, right? Go ahead.
It says, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt a voice unto them, shake their hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles.
Right, and that's what we're doing. We're lifting up that banner, which this banner is going into this word, man, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai. We're lifting it up, man, and we're out here telling you, thus saith the Lord, man, and no other, man. And yes, we are, we are speaking, to not only to, our people, and we're speaking to these other nations as well, man. Matter of fact, can you grab, I think it is Mark 16, if I'm not mistaken, it might be Mark 16, and I think it's like the second to last verse, where it's basically speaking to, how we go into, and speaking unto every creature. I think that's what it might be. Mark 16 at the very end, or Mark 17 at the very end. If you can get that, sure.
Yeah, got you, bro.
You know what I mean? I just want to grab that. And Slaki, man, bear with us. We're moving through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai.
And these pages are stuck together now.
And sometimes that's how it be, man. You gotta know how to look at your sword, huh? Come on now.
To each other, man.
You gotta know how to use your sword. Khan. Let's grab that.
This is Mark chapter 16 and verse 15. It says, and he said unto them, go ye into all the world.
Right, into all the world, right? So we're not just speaking, to Israel, which mainly our main focus is on the elect of the nation Israel, right? But we do speak to these other nations, right? To give them their judgment, right? To give them, thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, right? Go ahead.
It says, and he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature.
Right. Is that what that was it?
Yeah.
Con, man. So we're preaching this word, to everybody, man. Again, our main focus is the elect of the nation Israel, but yet we're speaking to everybody, man, especially the elites. Going back to Isaiah 13 and verse, verse 2, shake the hand that they may go into the gates of the nobles, right? So they know about us, man. Beginning with the elites on down to the sub-elites and, the regular, politicians and so on and so forth that are here, really in the world as well, from these other nations. They know about us, man. They know that we're sitting here trying to, basically, usher in, Yahweh Shai, right? We're prophesying the downfall of Babylon, which is again America, right? Because America is at its end, and there's telltale signs, of that end, right? And it usually starts from within. And then you go back into the time of the Romans, you go into the time of the Egyptians, right? All these empires, right? Their fall started from within. Now they did have issues outside, but it usually worked from from the inside out, right? You got a precept?
No.
Okay, Con. So we're gonna go ahead and jump to we'll go to Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 15, right? Because again, that point, man, which we're gonna get to that point. How ultimately, America has problems outside, which are aiding in America's fall. But again, we're gonna focus on the inside right now because America is doing real bad right now, man. And you can see it. If you're paying attention, you can see America is doing really bad. As far as its infrastructure, as far as its economy. America's doing real bad, man. Let's go ahead and grab that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 50 and verse 15. It says, "Shout against her round about."
Mm-hmm. This is speaking of Babylon, right? Go ahead.
She hath given her hand.
Mm-hmm.
Her foundations are fallen.
Right, her foundations are fallen. You go into that word of foundations in the Hebrew, it's Strong's H803, right, which goes into what? To support, man. And what usually supports a country? It's its infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
How everything's built. It's freeways. It's residential roads. It's water main lines and stuff like that. All these things help to keep this place intact, right? And you can see if you're paying attention, to what's going on. You're walking circumspectly, looking around, especially what's going on in your own state or your own city. And you'll see, here in Arizona, there was a water main line on the US 60, which is a road that cuts right through Mesa, cuts to Tempe, so on and so forth. Really the east side of Arizona, and then it kind of works its way up to I want to say the northeast or something like that. I'm not too sure how far it goes out, but there was a water main line around Tempe area, which is close to Phoenix. It's on the if you're looking at the map, it's on the right hand side of Phoenix, and a water main line. It shut down the whole, like we're talking about like 7, 8, maybe 10 exits, man. It flooded everything. So like it was almost about midway of a mid-sized car, man. The water was that fucking deep, right? And they had to rush to get it fixed, right? Then you got potholes everywhere, which is causing, people to their tires popping all the time. They got to spend more money on tires. They got to do all these things. Bridges starting to break down. You know what I mean? You got a lot of things within America that are ultimately starting to tear down. You got a lot of businesses that are not, that have got, with the scamdemic happening. A lot of businesses went out of business, that's part of, the foundations of America. America's made up of hundreds of thousands of small businesses, man. And if you shut them down, well, guess what? That hurts your economy, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, America's just done for, man. And when you go into that the word wall, where it says that, matter of fact, let me read that, run that back, Bible Shaw.
Yeah, come.
Because it's not just, the things that help to keep America up, like their freeways, like their small businesses, like their, so on, these things that, again, that keep America, their water system, their sewage system, all these things are starting to ultimately crumble down, but it's not just that. Keep going.
Isaiah chapter 50 and verse 15, "Shout against her round about. She hath given her hand. Her foundations are fallen. Her walls are overthrown down."
Right, her walls are overthrown down. You go into a wall, that's a place of defense, man. America is vulnerable right now, man. America is at a state of being, bullied and thrown around and thrashed, man. America's not in the position to defend its own land.
Mm-hmm.
America's so focused on what's going out or what's going on outside of America that they're not even worried about what's going on here in America, man. And this right here, that's going to lead into, it's trickling over into these people, man. These people are understanding or seeing that, hey, their own country doesn't care, doesn't give a fuck about their own infrastructure, man. You know, they don't care. Hey, these people are starting to like really, pay attention, and they're scratching their heads like, what the hell's going on? Which that's going to lead into, a sort of an uprising, right? Like we saw on January the 6th, right? I think it was 2020 or 2021, right? That was just a precursor.
The state capital.
Right. The state, the country capital, right? Which is in Washington,
Oh,
D.C.
yes.
Right. So that was our precursor of what's really going to take place, right? It's going to get real bad. In 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter, it says what, man? They should, or I might be wrong. They shall regard no prince nor. It's like it. You know what I mean? Brains moving, super fast. But yeah, man, 2 Ezra, 15th chapter, what is that? The verse 15 or 16 or something like that, man. Where they're not going to regard their princes or their kings and stuff like that, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was a precursor of what's really coming. And because again, these people see the fact that their own government doesn't give a fuck about them, man. Because think about it. America's more focused on Taiwan and focused on Ukraine. They don't even care about their own people, man. Yeah, they want to sit here and say, we're going to open up, the oil reserves, and we're going to, ultimately get that gas down. The gas, it'll go up like fucking 50 cents, and then it'll only drop about 10 cents. So really, you know what I mean? You're seeing, and then it'll go back up to that 50 cent mark, right? You know what I mean? So it'll go up really, 40 cents in within a month, but then it'll jump back up to that that extra 10 cents. So you're not really getting no comfort. You're not really getting no cushion. The people see that, and it's going to cause more of a problem. Right now, it's kind of relaxed, but that's going to cause more of a problem where the people are going to basically rise up against their government, man. And if we can, unless you got a preset.
No, I got you, bro.
Con, let's go ahead and did you finish that?
It was a little more on that.
Yeah, let's grab the rest of that, and then we'll grab to Isaiah 19 too.
Con, it reads, her foundations are fallen, her walls are thrown down.
Mm-hmm.
For it is the vengeance of the Lord to take vengeance upon her, as she hath done, do unto her.
Hey, because ultimately this is what the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is doing, man. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is basically prepping this place to be destroyed, man. Because the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is not just going to come and destroy this place. And the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai has always, can you grab Isaiah 42 and verse 9?
Yep.
The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai, before destruction comes, he sends out his prophets, man, to warn you of what's coming, to warn this place, and to give these people their judgment, man. Go ahead.
Right. This is Isaiah chapter 42 verse 9. Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare.
How does he declare them, man? He declares them through the mouth of his prophets. Hosea 12 and 10, Luke 1 and 70. He speaks through the ministry of his prophets. That's how the Lord speaks, man. So he's going to sit here and he's going to bring out his prophets to tell you, hey, what you're doing wrong, what you need to do to fix it, and if you don't, this is what's going to come upon you, man. It's like, the ads and stuff like that. We listen to some jazz and stuff like that, man. Just waiting for that skit. But yeah, man, so that's how he's going to warn the people of what's coming. That's how he's going to speak, man. The Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is pure energy. He's pure perfection. So you're not going to be able to hear pure perfection. We're in our state of impurity, man. Come on,
now. You want to be able to, like in the time of Moses.
Yeah.
When our forefathers wanted to talk to the Most High, they didn't want to deal with Moses no more, man. And the Most High came down that mountain with the thunders, and the thunderings and the light. It was the scripture say when the Lord speaks, it's like thunder, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's power, pure power.
Pure power. It's terrifying. Like, hey, we'll talk to Moses now, man. We don't want to
yeah. They couldn't handle it, man.
You people always like, oh, you're just a man. I want to talk. How come God can't talk to me? You don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that, man. Hey, so you better learn and understand that when the prophets are out here, especially the true prophets, man, because there's false prophets, there's true prophets, and the true prophets are beginning with the head of the apostles of Great Millstone on down, man. Giving you that proper, giving you that, building up that hedge around you, man. Getting you ready. We're giving you all the pieces of the armor and not just a couple pieces of armor, man. Leaving you exposed in certain areas, man, for you to ultimately be taken down. No, we're giving you every piece of armor that you need in order to be delivered, man. So hey, we're the true prophets, man. We have the true, as a body, we have the true understanding of the scriptures, man. No other group does, man. So fuck those groups, man. But getting back to the point, hey, matter of fact, can you read that one more time?
Yeah, come.
Yeah, come.
Isaiah 42 and verse 9, behold, the former things are come to pass,
Mm-hmm.
and new things do I declare, before they spring forth, I tell you of them.
Right, so the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is telling you that this place is about to go down, man. You know? So he's and it just, come on, man. It's one stone after another, man. Let's grab that Isaiah 19 and 2. You know, because again, this is prophecy, man. This is what we see everything leading to because of, you know, again, this build back better, man. You know, and when I saw a brother, he posted a picture, or no, it was Zay the Truth or whatever. If you look at the B, it's lowercase b, and that's a 6. And then you look at the other, build back better. All those begin with the B. That's 666, man.
That's a devil's favorite number, man.
Right. We understand. Hey, 2 Corinthians 2:11. We're not ignorant of Satan's vices, man. His evil intent, his evil's purpose. So we understand what's going on. Hey, but nonetheless, it is the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. He's in control of all things, man.
Right.
So we know what's going on. Esau Edom thinks, you know, like it says, the scripture says, his pride have deceived him, man.
Mm-hmm.
So he believes that he's in control. He's going to be able to do this, that, and the third. Hey, no, man. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is in control.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So he's having you ultimately.
That's right.
He's having you do things that are ultimately leading unto your downfall, your own downfall. Imagine that, man. The Most High deceiving you to think that you can sit here, or you are building back better, or you're about to establish some type of plan, but yet he deceives you and brings forth his own agenda. That's heavy, man. This is where Esau Edom is at, man. He thinks that him destroying, you know, they had an order ab chaos, right? Him establishing some type of chaos so he could bring forth the solution is you know, he's on point with what needs to be done so he can do that.
I have a quick precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Proverbs 16 and verse 9, and this is in the New King James Version. It says, "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps."
Right.
You know, so these devils have it in their mind that they're going to roll out this NWO and ultimately gain control of everything. Little do they know, the Most High put that spirit within them to do that, man.
Right.
You know, that's why every time we do these lessons, man, you know, we're grateful and thankful to the Lord because He put the spirit on us and the words within our mouth to speak. You know, like, you know, hey, me and the brother will just get into it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know, that's how it goes. The spirit will move us. But nevertheless, these devils and everybody in the world is being controlled by the Heavenly Father of His only begotten Son, man.
That's right. That's right, man. It's powerful, man. But you going back, man, you know, so Esau Edom is doing all these things, you know, not focusing on his own country, so to speak, you know, is going to lead to an uproar, which again is part of his agenda, you know, but again, it's also part of his downfall, right? It's also an indicator of the downfall of this place, right? Can go ahead, Isaiah 19 and 2.
Comes Isaiah chapter 19 and verse 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians."
Right, and the modern day Egyptians are who? The Americans, man. You know? So, and this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a tear between the two, you know, groups, right? Those that, you know, are for the government, those that are against the government, right? You know, there's going to be a battle, sort of a civil war, right? This is what it's going into, a civil war that's going to take place here in America, man, you know? Right. As well as a race war, because it'll get deeper than that, you know what I mean? You know, but nonetheless, let's keep going on that.
It reads, "And they shall fight every one against his brother,
right,
and every one against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom."
Right, so this is what's going to happen, man. And that goes into two factors, right? So there's going to be some that are going against the government, and there's going to be some that are not necessarily going against the government, but going against their own people, right? You look at that faction, and yes, you got a lot of people with this gun situation that's going on. Esau Edom trying to take away the guns, and you got a lot of these militia groups and Edomites that are going to go against their own government. But then you're going to have people that aren't necessarily with the government, that are for the government, that are going to be going against the militia, right? Because they don't want you to fight against, hey, the government's just looking out for us, and the government's just trying to do best. They're just trying to care for our kids, this, that, and the third, right? Government's playing on their emotions. They got to those people, and those people that are, you know, fighting for their rights, they're going to come up against those that are in their emotions. You know what I mean? So there's two factors that are ultimately going to play out here as far as that precept being played out, right? Those that are for the government but aren't necessarily a part of the government, fighting against those that are against the government, and then those that are against the government fighting against the government, and those that aren't aren't with the government before the God. It sounds complicated, but there's 2 points that are made in there, man. And this is what we have going on at this current time. A civil war is going to happen. And Esau, Edom, the higher ups and stuff like that, they're going to use those that are in their emotions that are for the government to fight for them. So again, it's going to be one big old fucking tsunami wave versus tsunami wave. It's going to be disastrous. It's going to be very rough. But that again, that is what is an indicator of the downfall, because like it says, when Satan is divided against, or kingdom divided against kingdom. Matter of fact, can we grab that? What is that? Matthew 12:25, or let's grab that, man.
Yeah, come.
Yeah, let's grab that real quick, Barbara Shaw.
Come. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 25. It says, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation."
It's brought to desolation. And we're seeing it, and we're seeing a lot more Edomites being rising up against their, against their government, man, against their own people, and so on and so forth. Go ahead.
Kind of reads, "And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand."
Shall not stand. Right. So again, this societal crash is an indicator of this place going down. So we see these things. Again, those that have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. And you can see the downfall of America, man. And again, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai is doing it. Like it says in Sirach, the 18th chapter, and the 3rd verse. He says what, man? So all things obey his will. Right? So this is the Lord's will for this place to go down. Because he has to destroy it, economically, spiritually, and sort of indirectly. It's direct because the Lord's doing it, but it's sort of indirectly, before the actual physical destruction comes, man. Looking at Nineveh, when Jonah was there, that place started to crash down. It wasn't an exact or an immediate destruction, but it was over time, right? And because even Nineveh, after Jonah was there, Nineveh wasn't even destroyed when Jonah was there. It got destroyed after Jonah was there. After Jonah had passed away and was gone. So that it took time for that place to go, right? So this is what the Lord's doing, man. Except in this time, we're going to be able to see it, right? You go into the time of the Romans, man. What happened? The Romans were still in rulership when John the Revelator was there, But what happened over time, which was the last prophet on the scene, by the way, right? Over time, they ended up being destroyed. And again, it started from within and worked its way out. As we see, America's being destroyed from within, economically, socially, so on and so forth. Their dollars being completely destroyed, which we know is obviously by on purpose. It's by their making, so they can bring forth their MOTB, right? But it's still an indicator. It still lets you know that this place is going down. When the currency goes down, when the society starts to go into shit, goes into shambles, and when the infrastructure of the place starts to be neglected and starts to break down, that lets you know that this place is going on. But as well as outside of that place, right, their power, right, the Romans' power started to dwindle. They didn't have much rule or enough power to keep focusing because they were on top for so long. And I was reading an article that their actual military, because they hadn't seen war for so long, stopped wearing their like heavy body armor, right? Because they used to be, and when the Romans were coming in power, bro, they were that threshing instrument, man. What does it say?
Iron teeth.
The iron teeth, man. They were that, man. They were using all different types of war instruments as well as, torture instruments and so on and so forth, man, against our people and other nations, mainly against our people. But after a while, once they were on top and the people feared the Romans, and nobody really bucked up against them like that, man. So they were in this position of being comfortable, to the point where they relaxed too much. And then nations saw that, people rose up against them and started fucking them up. And we're seeing America being too lax, man. America thinks that they're just this, that, and the third. And the nations are starting to come back at America like, hey, who the fuck are you? And America's trying to stay here and trying to flex its power by trying to come at, Taiwan, trying to take another country's, what is under their rulership. Taiwan has been under the rulership of China for decades, man. Decades. So has Ukraine been under the rule of Russia for decades. You know, and now America, because America realizes they ain't shit no more. Their power is starting to dwindle. Their influence over the world is starting to dwindle. So they gotta sit there and reflex like, hey, you know, I'm this, that, and the third. Hey, but you ever seen a bodybuilder who hasn't been building muscle for so long? The muscles start to get flabby, their skin starts to get all loose, and that's America right now, man.
SpongeBob when he got those inflatable arms.
You feel me? That's America. America got America's muscles all deflated because it hasn't been flexing it like that, man. America thought that they were just in a cool spot, right? So now these nations are ultimately flexing on America, and they've been hitting the weights, man. They've been, when you remember when you got a bully, somebody who's been bullying you, and you got to get back at them, but they're bigger than you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the bully thinks he's good, so he just sits back, you know, relaxes. You know, he can bully you whenever the hell he wants, but unbeknownst to him, you've been in the weight room pumping fucking iron, man. You can bench now twice as much as he could. You can run as faster than he can. You can squat more than he can. And you can beat the shit out of him. And you've been training. Hey, that's Esau listening, man. Hey, Esau, stay listening, man. You know, but you've been training, you've been putting in the work, but the bully hasn't, and he's been bullying you for years, and you're fucking tired of it, man.
Because he was puffed up with pride, that, you know, just knowing, I'm always gonna be beating him forever.
Exactly, that's America.
It's America.
America's done for.
Scripture say, how is the hammer of the earth, you know, cut asunder, if you're paraphrasing Jeremiah.
Right. Yeah, Jeremiah 50.
Yeah, you consider a hammer, it's always like pressing down, you know,
right.
on a nail, man.
That's right.
You know, and that's what America for long has been doing to these nations, pretty much bullying them, you know, whether it be, you know, through their philosophies or democracy, you know, forcing them to conform. And that's what the Romans were doing too.
Yeah. Forcing
everybody to learn their language and worship their gods and adapt their traditions. And that's what America has done, man. You know? And that's that fourth beast coming back, man.
Hey, man, and, you know, I was at work, you know, just speaking sort of like that, man. And, you know, I was speaking spiritually to him, you know, man, obviously Clark Kent, stuff like that, man. You know, and I was telling him, I was like, hey, man, y'all believe in karma? They were like, yeah. I was like, hey, man, do you believe, you know what I mean? Just asking questions, man, you know, the inquiring of, you know, what their knowledge is and stuff like that. I was like, hey, man, do you believe that, you know, karma's going to come back on the white man? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, well, cool. You know, you think about it, you know what I mean? The so-called white man has never received his recompense.
Yeah.
You know, and I kind of got broader with it. I said, you look at America, America has never received, you know, nobody bullying it, but it's always been the bully.
Virgin daughter of Babylon.
You know what I mean? Hey, that war, that war is going to hit because, again, America cannot just sit here and continue to bully a nation that knows that what the bully is doing is wrong. It's not going to happen no more.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is over and done with, man. That's why we go to, if you can grab Isaiah the 47th chapter, where it talks about come and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Because your rule is over. America's rule is at a complete and utter fucking end, man. Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 47 and verse 1.
Yep.
Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon.
Right, and the dust is symbolic for confusion. Hey, but you also look at it, if you go from sitting on a throne to sitting on dust, and that means you lost all your power, man. You have no power, man.
Peasant, man.
You're a fucking peasant. Go ahead.
It says, sit on the ground, there is no throne.
There is no throne. America once was that, you know, that golden cup in the Lord's hand. Hey, but we're seeing, the Lord throwing that, just like in the time of King Solomon, which is ultimately Yahushua, you can receive in the reincarnation. And when King Solomon had, there was a fly that touched one of his vessels, his drinking vessels, right? And he threw that shit away. Hey, well, guess what? That means that vessel was tainted. And guess what? This vessel, Babylon, that golden cup in the Lord's hand, is tainted.
Yeah.
And so what does it do? What is the Lord doing? He's throwing it away, right? And so this place is done for, man. You know? And that was just an analogy, you know what I mean? I was putting together, piecing together through the Spirit. Go ahead.
True. This is, it says, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
Right, shall no more be called tender and delicate, right? Because, hey, guess what? Now you're finna receive of the judgments that are that you're worthy of, you know? No, you're just done for. America is literally at its end, right? And we know, we were breaking down the telltale signs, knowing or how we know that it's America's end. The Lord Yahweh Shem Shai gave it to us, man, through His Word, man. Hey, this right here, this is the this is the playbook, man. This is the real life playbook, man. The ultimate playbook, we have right here, man. And guess what? This playbook will never be defeated. You ever seen, like, go back in history, man, there's college teams or, stuff like that, man. They had a coach that had this ultimate playbook. They always won every year. Years in a row, they kept winning the championships, right? And they had the ultimate playbook. Yeah. And well, guess what? The Lord will never lose, man. He has given us the ultimate playbook, man. We know what His moves are, man.
Yeah.
Thus saith His Word.
That's why He hates us so much, because we know all of His moves. That's why He wants to get rid of us, man.
Yeah, Esau fucking hates us, man.
He's pissed.
That's why when you go back into the, Isaiah the 13th chapter, when it says, shake the hand and may go into the gates of the nobles, and we're telling Esau, Edom, what his end all be all is. And yes, the elites know. They know that they're finna go get cast down and go into slavery. Yep. Hey, but their pride is so high that they truly believe that they're going to be able to get rid of the Most High and to establish their own rulership, man. And again, eliminate the Most High and eliminate His power as if He did something wrong when He's never done anything wrong, man. Esau's fucking retarded, man. He's absolutely fucking retarded, man.
Yeah, he's lost his mind, man.
But what's crazy, or not crazy, but it's beautiful to see is the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai is tearing down their enterprise, man, which is Babylon. The main play, America is a big ass fucking a big ass billboard, man, so to speak, man, where people could throw up their fucking ads and get money off of it. It's just a place of fucking business. This is not an actual country, man. It's a place of fucking business. That's it. People come and do all different types of business, wicked business, just regular, trying to build up your family, this and the third business, but for you to get anywhere as far as your business, you got to do something wicked. So this is a place of wickedness, man, and all that shit is going to fucking shambles, man, and again, we're telling the elites and everybody else that, that is lower than the elites, regular peons, they're starting to open their eyes and starting to see this shit, man, America is falling, man. America's power over the nations is waning. America's infrastructure, America's society is starting to crumble. Just over in New York, they're in the last 2 years, and they've hit a record. Their crime has gone up over 60%.
God damn.
Right. There was a dude, and I was watching a video. It was on Sky News Australia, right? There was a dude on a fucking subway who went up and was, he was like grabbing on women, man, and there were men on the actual subway, and they didn't do shit. They were talking about, oh, where did manhood go? Where did chivalry go? This and the third. And when you look at not only are they not focusing on their roads, focusing on their dollar, focusing on the agriculture here in America, they're not focusing on America at all, even including their crime. You know what I mean? And you have to focus on your police officers, firefighters, your ambulance, all of them to keep your society in order. And all that is going to, they're quitting, mass numbers, they're not getting paid enough, and now they're being overworked because you got more people quitting, right? So all these things are happening, and the nation see that, right? This was on Sky News Australia. The nation see that America's done for. So they're like, okay, well, you're not even going to pay attention to your people, and what makes you think that you're going to be able to fight us and pay attention to your people? America's spread way too fucking thin, man. Which is then going to have the nation, man, fuck you, man. America's going to try and flex, and they're going to, they've been working in that gym. They that kid that's been bullied the whole time working in that gym, and they're going to give that bully a straight jab to the nose and snap that nose.
We brought that out in the last lesson, beat the plowshares into swords. Pretty much, if you paraphrasing, these nations have been putting all their time, energy, and resources into building these nuclear weapons so they can fight. Because if you have a nuclear weapon nowadays, that's, you're literally a threat, man.
That's right.
And America for the longest time has had these weapons of mass destruction, but now also their enemies have them, man. And now their enemies are like, well, now we have what you got, and not only do we have what you have, but it's better, man.
Right, and we have more.
So that's one thing to remember, man.
Right, man. So America is fucking done for, man. And soon, we're going to be able to, Lord will probably the elect, we're going to be able to see that destruction, man. Because right now, again, it's starting from within, and the situation on the outside is starting to boil over, man. And it's going to come to a point where these nations are going to hit that bully right in the face. And it's going to be via ICBM nuclear missiles, which are going to leave America completely fucking desolate, man. You know? And this is what we're waiting for. This is what we need to happen. We can't wait for this, man. Every time that we fucking wake up, we're vexed that we just still fucking here, man. Yeah, you know, so we can't wait, man. This place is, it's at its fucking end, man. You got a precept?
Yeah, quick.
Yeah, go ahead and hit your precept, bro.
Con, this is Job chapter 21 and verse 17. It says, how oft is the candle of the wicked put out? And how oft cometh their destruction upon them? The Most High distributed sorrows in his anger. They are as stubble before the wind, and as chaff that the storm carrieth away. And that's, you know, that beast of destruction that's coming, man, that sweeping agent.
That's right.
You know, it says, the Most High layeth up his iniquity for his children. He rewardeth him, and he shall know it. His eyes shall see his destruction, and he shall drink of the wrath of the Almighty. And these devils, they ultimately, like the brother was going into, they're puffed up with pride, so they believe that they're actually going to be able to fight Yahweh Shah when he comes back and ultimately win.
That's right.
You know, Scripture say that they were so afraid, but yet there's fight. You know, but we ultimately know what the end all is going to be. They're going to prevail, not according to the prophecy, man.
That's right.
See, so we spiritually see, you know, his destruction in the end of this place and how it's all going to work. You know, we don't have the exact details, but according to what we understand about prophecy, we know what's going to happen, man. Yahweh Shai is going to show up. You know, he's going to come out. He's going to come with the thousands of heaven, man.
That's right.
And these devils aren't, and these other nations are going to fight, but they're not going to win. All right, he's going to see his destruction in that day.
That's right.
You know, and all these other nations too. And that was it. That was it on that.
Kyle, let's grab this one scripture. We'll end it out here. The Jeremiah 51 and verse 13 by Shah, if you can. Yeah, come, man, because America's done for, man. You know, and again, there's all the telltale signs, man. If you can't see it, then the Lord's not dealing with you, man. You know, because the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai literally gave us, like he said, make it plain upon tables, man. You know, that he may run that readeth it, man. So, hey, guess what, man? And we're, you know, Lord, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, the water Yahweh Shemel Shai, and we're able to take this and we're running, man. We're running, man. And hey, we see it, man. You know, so you can go ahead and grab that Jeremiah 51:13.
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 13. It reads, O thou that dwellest upon many waters,
yep,
abundant in treasures.
Oh, which is talking about America, man. Going back into Ezekiel, I think it's the 28th chapter, where it talks about through that traffic, you know, I mean, thou hast gotten great riches. And it's talking about America, man. Abundant in treasures. It's gotten all these treasures. And they got the, you know, the Queen's Vault. You got the, I can't remember that military base that has a whole shit ton of gold. I can't remember what it is, man. But hey, America has all the gold, all the riches, all the power. You know, obviously beginning with the elites, but you know, this is who it's talking about. Keep going.
Con, it says, O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thine end is come in the measure of thy covetousness.
Right, thy end is come, and we're at the end of this place, man. The absolute fucking end, and we're just waiting for that physical destruction, because the inner destruction is here. We're seeing it. It's happening before our eyes, but the outer destruction is soon to come when Yahweh Shai comes, man. You know, so Lord will was edifying. Lord will straight to the point. You got something else? So with that, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakam and double honors to the other apostles and other bishops. A great millstone rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim for pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh Shemel Shalom will upon your houses. We want to say Shalom, Kwame Shalom, and Shalom.